motherjews1@gmail.com. Mother Jews are Jewish, are they not? Part 4. So now we turn to the second source of the proof that the Mother Jews are Jewish. The first source was not conclusive. And the second source is to be found in Gemara Kiddushin 68b. And this is the translation from the Art Scroll. And let's turn to Nachrit Menalan, from where in Scripture do we know that Kiddushin does not take effect with the Gentile. Amakara lot titchatem bam. The verse stated, "You shall not make marriages with them." And the Mishnah in 66b also stated that the offspring of a female Gentile are accorded to their mother's legal status. So they are non-Jewish. And this talks about the father Jew, the child of a Jewish father and a non-Jewish mother. And the Gemara therefore asks, I have found that Kiddushin does not take effect with the Gentile. From where in Scripture do we know that her offspring is like her in terms of legal status? And then the Gemara continues, Amar Rabbi Yochanan Mishum Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of Rabbi Shimon ben Yochai, the Amakra, we know that a female Gentile's offspring is a non-Jew, so that's a father Jew, like her, because the verse stated, Ki yasir et bincha me'acharai, for he will turn your son away from me. Please note that the Art Scroll translates bincha here as your son and not as your child. And then the Gemara continues, Bincha haba mi-Israelit karui bincha, your son who comes from a Jewish is called your son, is considered Jewish. Ve'ein bincha haba min ha'ovedet kochavim karui bincha, but your son who comes from a heathen woman is not called your son, ela bena, rather he is considered her son. And so the Gemara says that the child is born into the mother's fate and not into the Jewish fate of his father and grandfather. So many rabbis consider this as a proof that the mother Jew, the one with a Jewish mother, the child with a Jewish mother and a non-Jewish father, is Jewish because it says here, your son who comes from a Jewish mother is called your son. So a child who comes from a Jewish mother is called your son. And a child who comes from a non-Jewish mother is not called your son, but is called her son and is therefore non-Jewish. But this is a misconception because, let's look at the sentence again. Your son, let's call him son number 1, who comes from a Jewish mother, is called your son. But your son has a Jewish father, because it says your son, a Jewish father and a Jewish mother. And of course, this child is Jewish. And son number 2 has a Jewish father but a non-Jewish mother. And this child, according to the halakha, is not Jewish. But there is no son number 3, Jewish mother plus non-Jewish father. The mother Jew, what we're looking for, it is not mentioned in this part of the Gemara. If you have any comments or questions, please write an email to motherjews1@gmail.com.